Hey, you cupcakes. Today's video comes with a little bit of a trigger warning. It deals with some themes of death. Actually, no, the entire thing deals with the theme of death. So, if you're not in the headspace for it, I get it. You might want to give this one a pass, but try not to make it too sad. In fact, I think the goal was to make it feel not bad at all. But sometimes you just can't help but be sad. So, if you're not ready to hear about or talk about people who have passed, then I hope that you feel better soon. And I wish you the best of luck with your grieving process. In the meantime, for the rest of you, thank you for sticking around. Hey, yeah. What are you ordering? I haven't decided yet. I think I will have the Whopper McBaconator chicken. Huh? Of course I can get it. Well, okay, so it's a Pizza Hut. What difference does that make? They serve everything here. Well, maybe not for you, but for me. Because everybody always wants to give me what I want. And it's very good to be me. Plus, it's a dream, and I'm in the dream. So, dream principles being what they are, I can have McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King and Pizza Hut all in one. You should try it. It's very liberating. There you go. I don't know. I have no idea why I'm here. Or why you chose a Pizza Hut. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Actually, given it's your dream, it's your circus. I think that makes me one of the monkeys. Might make me the only monkey. I haven't seen anybody else here. Who am I going to order from? Oh, look. I get what I want anyway. Didn't even have to order. I love how that works. Oh, I don't know why I'm here. Do you? Maybe. Maybe I'm just a dream. Maybe I'm a ghost. Maybe I'm a spirit visiting you in your sleep. Maybe I'm just... I don't know. Maybe you need me. Maybe you just need somebody. Maybe you need a part of yourself that reminds you of me. I don't know. You'd think I'd be more clear on the nature of consciousness from this end of things, but nope. Every bit as clueless as I was in life. Maybe I'm just a remnant of what was left with you after I died. No, I don't mean memory. Well, okay. I mean memory as well, yeah, but I'm still here with you in a lot of ways. Like, very literally, physically with you. Well, I mean, for one thing, I've changed you physically. I'm not talking about scars. Well, maybe I'm talking about scars as well. But I mean, like, your brain. Neuroplasticity. Okay, so every time we learn something, everything we can remember, that's an example of our brain having taken shape. The neural connections forming and strengthening in order to help us recall what it is we know. And you and I learned a lot of things together. We made a lot of memories together. So we changed each other physically. I'll always be part of you that way. Can you feel me, Brian? Can you feel me inside you? Sorry, I couldn't resist. But think about this, right? Even my voice is still with you. You can still hear it. And I don't mean just in like you have recordings of me type of way. I mean like sound is part energy wave, yeah, but it's also your ability to hear it. And the part of your brain that has heard my voice so many times is so perfectly mapped out, not only to recognize my voice, but to be able to recall it. If you think about it, you can actually hear my voice when I'm not speaking. You can recreate it in your head. And if you can hear it in your head, isn't it still there? Your perception of sound is always just a perception. When you have tinnitus, you actually hear the ringing. That doesn't mean that anything is ringing outside of your head. It's just your perception of it. But it's real. Just like my voice is still real in your head. If your experience of sound is all about what's going on in your brain, and it is, then being able to recall my voice and being able to hear my voice, they're not as different as you might think. Same thing with being able to close your eyes and see my face, or remember what it felt like for me to hug you. I'm still right there. And all of those neural pathways that I formed inside your brain. And that's before I even get started on all the energy you and I exchanged every time I hugged you. Every time you heard my voice and I heard yours. Every time my eyes took in the sight of you and yours took in the sight of me. So you see, I may not know the nature of consciousness, but I do know the nature of experiencing the world. It's all done through our brains. And my brain has been so well shared with your brain that I live on in yours. Think about it. If I had donated my heart to someone, wouldn't you feel like a part of me had lived on in a very real way? Right. And you hold a part of me that was much more me than my heart. You hold parts of me that made me me. My thoughts and my opinions and my feelings. The parts that we call consciousness. Maybe I am just your brain's manifestation of something you needed to know. Maybe I am actually a ghost that managed to leave a part of myself in your dreams. Does it really matter? I mean, I'm here. And we don't really know what you needed from me, whether I was a ghost or whether I was a manifestation of your thoughts. Maybe we should try to figure that out. What could I possibly be here to say? It could be just that you needed to know that I'm still here with you. But that seems like a little too on the nose for a dream, don't you think? I mean, dreams are always about metaphor. Dreams are always about what they're not about. So, if you really needed to hear me tell you that I'm still with you, I don't know. It seems like I would have found another way to say it that wasn't saying it if it was all about it being a dream. Of course, if I am a ghost, I will be more direct than that, won't I? Huh. Or maybe I'm just here to remind you that you don't have to choose between one thing you like or another. You can have it all if you want. Like a Whopper McBaconator from a Pizza Hut. I don't really know. I think it's entirely possible that I'm not here because you need something. I'm here because I needed something. Maybe I'm here because I miss speaking to you and you speaking back. Maybe this is all about me and you're visiting my dream. Did you ever think about that? Maybe you're the dream. Whether I'm alive or dead, maybe I'm just dreaming that I've passed. Maybe you'll wake in the morning and have a text from me saying, I had the weirdest goddamn dream. To be honest, I don't really care. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. We've got another few minutes together when we thought we were done with each other. When we thought that we had had the last of each other that we were going to have, we managed to get one more interaction out of each other. And that's a blessing, even if it's only a dream. Anyway, whatever the reason I'm here, I'm hungry, so I'm going to tuck into this sandwich. Would you like some? Oh, no, those are anchovies. Yeah, no, I never actually had them on anything before, so I figured, why not? It's a dream. If I don't like them, I can change them. Exactly. Here, try some. Bon appetit. Hey there, Cupcake. I hope that wasn't especially sad. I was actually aiming for something a little comforting. I don't know if I got that. The subject matter is sad, but I didn't mean for the recording to be sad. It came from a conversation that I was having with a friend from my Patreon, and they shall remain nameless until they decide to rename themselves. But we were talking about having dreams about people we'd lost. And we know that they're dreams, but it also feels like you get a little bit more of them in a way. When somebody passes, you feel like that's the last you've had of them. You mourn them because you're not going to have moments with them. You're not going to have laughs with them. You're not going to have stories with them. You're not going to see them. But then every once in a while, something comes along and gives you a little more than you thought you would get. Somebody will show you a photo that you'd never seen of them before, or tell you a story that you'd never heard. Or you get a visit in a dream. And you have a few more minutes with them than you'd had before. Like little bonus minutes. That was the original idea for the story. But also, if you've ever had the misfortune to see someone you loved after they had left their body, there is no mistaking that their body is not who they were. There's no mistaking that the person you loved is just not that. And so if the body remains reasonable to think the rest of them is somewhere as well, somehow. And I am agnostic. I have no idea what that means, if there is any kind of afterlife, if there's any kind of anything. But I know that there are people that I have a lot of faith in, who have faith, and that gives me hope. I don't particularly feel it myself, but I could be just spiritually autistic. It wouldn't be the first kind of autism I was dealing with. And just because I can't feel it doesn't mean it's not there, right? I know that there are atheists who will say that if anything like that exists, we would have had proof of it by now. But there are a lot of things that exist that we know exist, but we don't really have proof of it. Can you recreate love in a lab? You can't, but we all know that it exists. And if you were to speak to someone who was an absolute psychopath and could not feel it, how would you prove to them that it exists? So, I may not have faith per se, but I have faith in people who have faith, and I will borrow the comfort that they take in knowing that their loved ones still exist, even after they're gone. And the part of that story that was about neuroplasticity and how we change each other and how we become enmeshed with each other and live on in each other in a very physical way, actually came from an article, a blog post by a physicist named Aaron Freeman, who said, "You want a physicist to speak at your funeral." If you haven't ever heard it, he wrote, you want a physicist to speak at your funeral. You want the physicist to talk to your grieving family about the conservation of energy, so they'll understand that your energy has not died. You want the physicist to remind your sobbing mother about the first law of thermodynamics, that no energy gets created in the universe and none is destroyed. You want your mother to know that all your energy, every vibration, every BTU of heat, every wave of every particle that was her beloved child remains with her in this world. You want the physicist to tell your weeping father that amid the energies of the cosmos, you gave as good as you got. And at one point, you'd hope that the physicist would step down from the pulpit and walk to your broken-hearted spouse there in the pew and tell them that all the photons that ever bounced off your face, all the particles whose paths were interrupted by your smile, by the touch of your hair, hundreds of trillions of particles have raced off like children, their ways forever changed by you. And as your widow rocks in the arms of a loving family, may the physicist let her know that all the photons that bounced from you were gathered in the particle detectors that are her eyes, that those photons created within her constellations of electromagnetically charged neurons whose energy will go on forever. And the physicist will remind the congregation of how much all of our energy is given off as heat. There may be a few fanning themselves with their programs as he says it, and he will tell them that the warmth that flowed through you in this life is still here, still part of all that we are, even as we who mourn continue the heat of our own lives. And you'll want the physicist to explain to those who loved you that they need not have faith. Indeed, they should not have faith. Let them know that they can measure, that scientists have measured precisely the conservation of energy and found it accurate, verifiable, and consistent across space and time. You can hope your family will examine the evidence and satisfy themselves that the science is sound and that they'll be comforted to know that your energy is still around. According to the law of conservation of energy, not a bit of you is gone. You're just less orderly. Amen. As always, I would like to thank you all for your energy, including my newest patrons, Baka Awesome, Rory, Hello Puffin, and Avian 1123. And of course, those baker and pound cakes who make it so that I can rabbit on about whatever enters my head on any particular day that brings me laughs or brings me comfort. Thank you. Pack 3424, Deanster, Mike, D. Curro, Semblance of Life, Sarcastic Monkey, Ang, Lucid Sloth, Charles Tribble Wheaton, Loot Curator, Limonic Cultist, Bowman, Alton Goodbottle, Techo, Gunner's Mage, Mushan, Your Audio Best Friend, Alface, Tomas Rogers, Anya's Grey Wolfie, Nosti, Barry Wilburn, Esteed, SLE Photo, Harper Evolution, Wolf 9004, Malice Silo, Mr. Fabulous, Lou, Bunny, Meryl, Mr. Rickles, Onin the Resurrected, Darth Mythos, Red Death 48, Always Able, Old Bean UK, Kahlua Bear, The Swaggy Llama, Artlow, Pierce Tailish, and Christian Cleopatra. And I hope you will all be as good to yourselves as you are to me. I will talk to you again soon.